I think we are live, and welcome to working on OpenSuspect. So where are we? So last time I implemented a lot relating to the meeting UI, but what we are missing is the chatbox and avatars from the chatbox. So I was working on this offline, and so we got to the point where I made the meeting UI, but also while I was away, this is not that, this is also not that. So yeah, I made a UI dummy 7 hours ago, as you can see there. And if we go to the meeting branch in our GitHub, and dear viewers, now I hope you appreciate I switched everything to dark mode because people were complaining that the Godot IDE is in dark mode, but everything and not everything else, because the terminal was also in dark mode, but everything else was in light mode. So finally we have a dark mode set up, and also observe my great background image for the stream. Okay, so where was I? So in the meeting, just 2 hours ago, the second real zero made a few additional additions to the code, which will make the chatbox work. I guess not work, because we still don't have sending and receiving the actual chat messages in there, but that's going to be something we are going to be working on today. He changed a few things here and there, so I will need to pull that in here. So let's just git fetch upstream here to get all the newest things that are available, and git graph. So yeah, we have the upstream meeting, so let's just merge that in here. Git merge upstream meeting. Does it work like this? Yes. Alright, so now that we have this, let's open the project. Oh, welcome Darius. Good morning to you. Long time no see. How have you been? So, chatbox. We are working on a chatbox. And I instantly have, I guess this is the meeting UI, which contains the chatbox. And if we want to open the meeting UI here somewhere, UI elements, meeting UI. So this one became a text edit. I'm very busy, barely have time to work on my own stuff. I see. So getting a job is finally got back to you, and now you have to focus on your job. Am I getting this right? So okay, so this is a text edit which we'll be using for text, and I guess the chatbox got its own script, which is it's just fine actually. So probably I should use something similar in some other places. So this is work from second real zero. So we have an array which tells us how empty characters look like and what line breaks are. Okay, display message, send message, and then we of course need to send a message through the backend system. And the backend system is, I was working on this actually this afternoon, so a few hours ago, and that was this connections.gd is where the magic is supposed to happen. So we have this qData to send function, which basically collects all the data from everywhere else and will append to a queue, and this queue is sent to the server on regular intervals. So why we are doing this is that I want to avoid sending too much RPCs out, because that slows down the network very well. So we've tested this, and if we don't collect the data before sending them out together, especially for character movements and things like that, that is a very much makes the game lag, even after having like 3 instances on the same computer. And you would not expect lags if every instance is running, or network lag if every instance is running on the same computer, but here we are. So what we want to do is we want to queue the chat data and send the chat data through this mechanism, but this is kind of a very simple thing we are doing here, and maybe this is not how it should work at all, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go into our source directory and let's find what calls this queue data to send, because I would like to have a word with that. So this is from in connections, and this called from characters.gd. So let's take a look at characters.gd, line 151. So this is the only place where we do this, and what we do is basically we just make a dictionary with outfit and the color information in it, which is something very specific here. So maybe yeah, the thing is that this is how it gets so when it is called to the server, I mean when we queue this data to send in our connections.gd, I will just basically add it to the queue, and then 30 times in a second, I guess that's the, we try to do it 30 times in a second, and if it's a client, it will just send all this queued data to the server, which if we follow through here, something I saw was a little weird about the meeting UI is that it uses split containers instead of HBox and VBox containers. Yes, it uses the split containers because that looked nicer. That was easier to set up. So the split container is easier if you want to exactly use 2 things and you want those 2 things to cover up the whole screen. So what my problem was that if I, like here, you can see that, how can I select this properly? So this is like, you want just 1/2 will be for the votes and 1/2, where it's not exactly half, but you know, 1 part for, you want this whole, the vote to just fill up this whole thing on the left, and the chat box fill up the whole thing on the right, and similarly for the like this for the chat box, I want this to be split and everything should be filled up. I couldn't, maybe it is possible to do it with just the regular container. What is it, the VBox container, not the, yeah, so this originally it was a VBox container, but now it's a vSplit container. So because if I did it with the VBox container, then the chat box would be like this very small in the top, and then this message box would be very small in the left, and I just couldn't for the life of me make it look nice. So that's why I use the split container, but I failed to rename these. It is possible, but UI nodes can sometimes be really hard to work with. Yes, exactly. That is my experience here too. That's the so sometimes I just click around for half an hour and I have just no idea what to do for this to work. So in one of the previous episodes for the meeting button, just to put that on the GUI or the HUD properly. So, and then here we just basically send all the queued information and the position data in one go every like 30 times in 1 second. That is not lagging. At least I did not test with more than 4 clients joined together at the same time, so I don't know, maybe we will have to reduce from 30 to a little less, but at the moment for these purposes this works. So what I need to do is this send to server queue. This queue will have to contain the chat messages and the receive character data from client. That is, and I cannot control click on this because it's an RPC and this is Godot. So yeah, well, once we got the character data, received data server. So now this one, oh, because it will, yeah, tear it down and I guess we'll just send it to everyone. So -1 is to send to everyone. I mean, it will always, the server itself will just maintain a queue for this. So I will have to figure out how to use this, how to maybe make it a little more streamlined so I can send more, because at the moment it's only used for the outfits to be synced through this method, and this will have to be much more flexible than that. So I guess first of all, who do we send things to? That is one thing that we should probably have in the queue, first of all. So whenever we are sending this, all our character data, so the character data, that is something we want to send to everyone. So I guess I can just say -1 here to symbolize sending it to everyone, and of course this will complain now because, well, I guess I can just always follow this and what I'm thinking is maybe we shouldn't get the dictionary like should I get a dictionary? I mean, coming up with the proper data structure for this queue is, do I want, yeah, so what, instead of having a dictionary, so let's just not do a dictionary here. It should be much more flexible than this. It should just get a key, which should be a string, should get a value, which should be anything really. So I don't put in any type hint over there. I don't think there's any type hints in Godot for the anything. And what else? I also need someone to send this to, and that will be recipient, maybe variant, but not really sure. All right. Is that a thing that, yeah, I don't, it doesn't seem to have, definitely doesn't have any, which is what Python uses. But it doesn't really matter. What we want to do is we want to just create a dictionary here. Or maybe it should. Yeah, I guess we can just create a dictionary here and Q and that. This is like super weird. It should be a data class. Can we do data classes in Godot? But maybe we cannot send data classes through RPC though. So that's the problem, because we need to send this through an RPC, and sending custom classes through RPC was something that caused a lot of issues. So I guess maybe that's how we should be doing it. So when this is happening, then what we do instead of this, we don't need to. What I normally do is I have a custom data types, but then when I RPC them, I convert them to dictionaries. Yeah, so, but in this case, this is not used for anything else, just to send this through the RPC. So making a data set for this purpose would seem like an overkill. But yeah, I guess if you make like a custom variable that can output its representation as a dictionary and then create it from a dictionary, that might work. But in this case, it is only used for data transfer. So what we'll be doing here is outfit and character resource dot outfit, and then the same for the colors and get colors. So this one, what did I just, oh yeah, delete. So expected at most 1. What? Yeah, because I did not save this. Now, don't complain anymore. Yeah, I saved it. Yeah, for some reason the debugger only cares about the saved files. So now that this is done, when we send this to the server and the server receives it, then we will have to do a little more magic than that. So compile data. Maybe we don't even need to compile this. An element in character data key. So we receive an array, and this array contains dictionary. Okay, let me just write some comments here. For the character data is some kind of array which contains a list. It's a list of dictionaries, so I don't know how should I. And this is going to be key, and then value, and then recipient, and of course the other dictionary will be something like this too. Key 2 is key 1, value 2. So this is the format for the character data. to ID and data. So when I receive some data from one of the, I mean, the easiest thing to do is just to keep the exact same structure. So instead of doing any kind of magic here, if this character data is longer than 0, then that's character data for the character requested. So yeah, this is going to be, yeah, because the server doesn't just broadcast everything, the server also has to save this. So I understand what is happening in here. But this is something we shouldn't do. What we should do is just simply for element in character data and just append this there. We don't need to do anything about this. And maybe, how do I, so, and we can just send each and every one of these to the game scene one by one, I guess. So just sender ID. Wait, did I just delete the sender ID? Oh no, we have the sender ID here. How does it know what system should get the info? I think that is a job for the game scene. That will be probably a job for the game scene to decide. Yeah. That's a game scene is doing everything at the moment. Set character data. I need to find this function over here. So if character data, and this is, yeah, this have to be changed a bit. So we need to go and if character data key equals outfit, then we'll, oh, but the character.set appearance requires it both. So that's not good. Character resource, can we, where is set appearance here? Yeah, we should have a separate set outfit and set colors function here. Yeah, I guess we can just do this for the outfit and then for the colors, none should be void. Oh, you're right. This is the problem when something is very similar to Python but is not Python. New colors, of course. And now the question is, I mean, at the moment I can just call set this call deferred on on all of these cases, and I will leave this in here because I think there are other cases when this is used, and this is not bad to have all of these together. I guess we might streamline it later. So if there's a key outfit, then character set outfit, and then character data value, I guess. And we do the same for... So... What? No. Colors. Then set colors. So this at the moment is fine, but also once the... Yeah, I should have did this probably when I moved all these things to the connections, because this was originally in the characters.gd. I moved these things to connections and changed a lot of things to keep them working. And now we have, okay, so we have the broadcast data queue for... Okay, this is weird, but what calls this function? Characters.gd 170. Oh. Yeah. What is this? Send all character customizations. Oh. What? So this part... So basically send all... No, but we send, so each player we go through each player one by one and then queue it. But instead of this, we should do it the same way we did the other one, and the other one, which was, what was it? Where were you? Queue, yeah, this should use the same signature here. And and basically everything should be the same as this, except for, I guess, the name. Why am I copying the name of the function? And of course the variable it's accessing is going to be different. It's going to be the broadcast data queue. What would the key variable be used for? Well, the key is telling what kind of information we are sending through, so... Yeah, this is far from ideal, actually. The key, we check the keys, so... But this one also has to save... the sender. So because the server should also have to we have to keep track of who sends what. So you have 4 things. What is this data about? What the data is? Who is sending it to whom? And I guess sender int and equals -1. If nothing, oh no, not -1, just regular +1. And I need a comma here. Maybe just send the dictionary. Yeah, that's basically a dictionary. I mean, I'm sending a list of dictionaries. Because if I just wanted, every time I wanted to make an RPC for everything, like the value variable should be just typed as a dictionary. Oh, I see what you're saying. And the key variable would be removed. Yeah, but then how do you fit in the sender and the recipient information? So that's where things got bad. Because once you have to keep track of who's sending what to whom, then just the key value pair is not enough. Maybe nest the dictionary inside it. Yeah, I don't know. Because too many things nested, keep the recipient and sender inputs. So you mean like input variables here? I'm not following, I think, the train of thought here. So let me read it again. So the value variable should just be typed as a dictionary and the key variable would be removed. The dictionary layout you have now, maybe nest the dictionary inside it and keep the recipient and sender inputs. But how do I do? So why I do this is because then in this case I just get a list, like a list of dictionaries, and every dictionary contains what it is for, which I mean maybe the key is as a bad Q data broadcast value dictionary recipient. And the dictionary itself that should contain. So okay, so that I get. So I get the value dictionary, and recipient and sender are the other players we are talking about. But when we call this Q data broadcast, so what dictionary do I send? The value dictionary would just have the data you're trying to send. Yeah, but I need a field which tells me when I receive this dictionary, what data does it contain? So does it contain outfit? Does it contain the colors? Does it contain a chat message? Does it contain, I don't know, some weird update from a task? You know, because I don't know, like the changing a state of a task. That's what I am using the value, or not the value, the key for, to tell what's that about. And the character data we don't need. Maybe there could be a really big enum somewhere. Yeah. Clunky. That is a very nice way to put it, yes. It is indeed very clunky, but I did not find any way to do it in Godot because the easiest thing in the world would be if I could tell Godot that the RPCs should be, because every time it makes a separate RPC that gives a very big load on the network. So it's much nicer and much faster. So the lag problem. So the easy thing would be if I could just tell Godot that RPC this, RPC that, RPC that, but only actually do the RPC once, I don't know, 30 seconds, or like, what is it, like 30 milliseconds have passed. Yeah, that's what my problem is. Actually. But maybe because, well, the chat messages and like sending this outfit data and things like that, this does not take up much of a bandwidth, because that's kind of, you know, very simple, very rare data transfer. It works quite well for the... I need to do something like this for the movement synchronization, because otherwise the movements get laggy like hell. And if there is a task which, I don't know, in the future we need constantly changing it, in that case it's also better to not send separate RPCs all the time. But yeah, I do believe it is very clunky, but I just could not find any good documentation, any good tutorial on how to solve this issue natively with some Godot provided things. That is my problem. But if you can find a good tutorial on how to handle these kind of situations, then I would be very happy to modify this. It is the outfit. What I've done before is making a system like you have. I've had it just keep a list of all the inputs you would give an RPC. I guess, I mean, what we can do is I will kind of do it how I feel is kind of fine, and we can, of course, fine-tune this later somehow. You can send it in all big array. So you would just give it a function name, node path, and then the rest of the arguments. And you could send them all in a big array. So the node path, that seems a little funky to me. That seems like something that easily breaks. Oh wait, so I actually have a sender ID. That's interesting. Oh no, the sender ID is the... Oh, sender ID is whom I responding to, so... Would probably just be another autoload based on how the game is set up. But node paths are easy to break. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's my... That's why I am trying to run with the keyword solution instead. Because that seems like a little more robust. But I might I might end up being very wrong on this. Yeah, so QData to broadcast is, what is the function signature here? Key, value, recipient, and sender. Yeah, that seems right, because the person who sent us the RPC because this is a master function, so this is called from a client by an RPC call. Well, remote process call. RPC call is a remote process call. With keywords, we're gonna need something similar to a giant match statement. Yeah, unless you have it planned further than me. Well, not yet. Yeah, that would be probably a giant match statement, you're right. But NodePath, the problem with So what I'm worried about NodePaths is that what if we have multiple... Yeah, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, this unfortunately looks like a big ass match statement is where... Yeah. Seems like this is kind of the situation when it sucks one way or another and you just have to make a decision which way you prefer the sucking. If we're doing keywords anyway, might well as have an enum. Yeah, probably the enum will be the better choice. That's kind of something to keep in mind. So queue data to send, and then... Okay, so I went through that loop, and then if we have the queue data for the server broadcasts, then now we have the broadcast queue similarly, and we need to go back to our process. So I put this in the connections auto load because that seemed more reasonable than keep it in the characters auto load. But yeah. And what do? We just, when we are on the server currently, we just send all our whole broadcast queue to everyone. Including ourselves, I guess. This should not be character data though. Maybe it's needs its own auto load that would keep the clutter out of the hosting and connecting code. Yeah, that is also a possibility to do that. There will be a lot of cleaning up to do. Maybe we should do that before implementing the task system, honestly. That that would be good. So character positions sending, yeah, that's kind of neat. Here, okay, so once we definitely need to rename these functions. I don't like how they are named, even though I named them. Keep some of the spaghetti out of the game scene. Yeah, the game scene will have to be reorganized. I agree with you on that point. Because I just literally spammed everything in that scene that is related to the gameplay. And I put some comments that just say that this is not how it should be done. So yeah. So now the character data array, it looks different. So I'll have to change that for a second time today. Makes sense to put a bunch of stuff in there, but maybe we could organize it with some inheritance. Inheritance might not be the best way to do that, but maybe we just add like sub-scenes. It's useful when you want a ton of code in one thing, but also lets you separate to some degree. Maybe we can just add additional nodes to the game scene and add separate attach separate scripts to the separate nodes, like how you did it with the chat box for the vote screen. Inheritance, I don't really think that's the best way to do it, but if you have a good idea, good solution for that, I'm not against it. It's probably a much more readable solution. Yeah, maybe, yeah. My problem with inheritance is that none of the IDEs handle inheritance in a way that is easy to read. So, for example, because we have a few inheritance cases already in some resources, of course, and once you reference what is it, a function that is only in the base class from the inherited class, it's the IDE does not really support well the following back on, like, where does that function coming from, or does that function come from. So we have recipient, and also what do we have here? Sender. We also have a sender. Where did I? Oh my! Okay, here we are. Sender is from. Can we send enums through RPCs in a trivial way? I guess it's, well, it's basically enum is just a number, right? So it should not be a problem. So the node, in the case of a node, yeah, probably can send the enums. That should not be a problem. All right, so receive all character data. What is this? Oh, it has to check for, yeah, it receives all the positions. That's fine, we don't need to do anything with that. For all the data and the character data, we'll have to check. It's not going to be 2, it's going to be a recipient. So if the recipient is me or everyone, then we do whatever we have to do here. And the set character data, I guess, what is the set character data require from? Set character data requires an ID and a character data. So the ID is who is sending the thing for us. Yeah, and the character data is the data itself. All right, that is fine. So, but it's not called the date ID anymore, it's called sender, but okay, and this is not called data, it's called the value. Yeah, because why not change as much as many meaningless things as possible instead of keeping things the same. Is there anywhere else where I data? No. All right. So how many things did I screw up here? Probably more than I should have. So, oh no, I should, yeah, full screen. Well, maybe not full screen. Maybe I should do the floating layout for now, because if there is any error message, I want to see it in the debugger. So, errors, what? What are these? I don't care. Okay, so there is nothing screaming at us. Start game. Well, function connect returns a value but never used. Alright. We can pick things up, throw them down, pick this thing up, empty it, put it down, call a meeting. And well, I guess vote for myself to end the meeting. Very nice. Alright, let's open another Godot instance here. So we can join the game. And something broke. Missing colors data. Yeah. The apply appearance on the, what is this, the character node, a skeleton node is not ready for this. Well, I guess maybe it's time to change it, because now it's intentional that we send the outfit and the colors separately. Maybe instead of doing this, what I should be doing is actually in the set appearance, I should refuse to do this if the outfit is empty or the colors is empty. What was the output here? And nothing. Well, maybe, yeah, we should refuse to do anything here if the outfit or the colors is empty. Empty or colors.empty. Just return. Maybe. Okay, let's create. Let's run and join. Okay, so something's still wrong. I mean, what's wrong is the server receives the data and applies it properly, but the client does not receive the data back. So this was exactly a problem I made for myself, I guess, previously. And now I made it again. At least I am consistent with the bugs I introduced to the code. Alright, so entity and what was this? Skeleton, we don't need you. You're just confusing me. Meeting UI later, I guess. Menu base later. And chatbox also later. So first of all, I guess what I should try before doing anything more is run a server from what is not the debugger and join from the debugger. Invalid get index key on base dictionary. Oh, okay, so there is something that breaks. The character data Oh, I'm not consistent in how I'm calling this function there. I am doing an oopsie, a very big oopsie here, by calling it improperly. Set character data. Yeah. Data sender and data value is how I call it one place, which is not the proper way. And sender ID and element I call the other. Okay, so 279 and 186. Is there any way I can just jump to the line by typing it in? So I think 279 will be the problem. What? It's not. I'm not in the correct. What? What? No, no, no. Okay. So what am I doing? Connections.gd and 279. Game scene, set character data, sender ID, and element. So this is server. The server does things, does the correct things. But I mean the sender ID. Why do I need the sender ID in here? Yeah, that's not how I should be doing, because the set character data is like set character data, the ID is already in this data dictionary. ID is going to be character data key and not key sender. So variable ID equals character data sender. Great. So I don't need anything else there. What I need to do is element well, it's what is it? It's not. It's sender. Yeah, I think sender equals sender ID. That should work. And the other place was 186. Yeah, I just sent whole data. Recipient and sender. So I'm right with this. Okay, nomenclature here. Great. Let's hope for the best. Oh, it's incidentally we have almost the same look. Hi. Okay, this works. So let's start the game. If I pick this thing up, well, this is like picking things up is still doing it just a direct RPC from the game thing itself. So you can pick this up, empty it, and if I go, you can see it's empty. And maybe this will have to be changed. Can I kill this guy? Yeah, guy is dead, and this thing is dropped. So yeah. Oh no! Now something else is broken, but I don't think it's related. Can pick up item. Attempt to pick up. Okay. We have a problem with item interaction here. That broke the game, but that's not related to what I'm doing here. So yeah, we will have to submit a bug report for this, I guess. If I can reproduce it. Let's try to reproduce it once and now I need to create here. So the thing was, I picked up an item, I walked away, and I got killed. What character resource are we working here with? It's character resource, what is it? Character res. Character node is null. Oh! Because, yeah, we don't have a character node anymore because we are dead. Okay, I know what the problem is. I'm not gonna solve it now, but we'll submit a bug report. Let's go. Issues. Before I forget. I need to do this because otherwise I will forget. Game breaks when Ghost tries to interact with an item. How to reproduce. Pick up an item. Get killed by another player. I guess, yeah, maybe it's like 1 and 2. Okay, great bug reporting here. I'm going to assign this to myself, but if anyone wants to pick this up, maybe this should be solved before alpha. Alright. But otherwise, what I wanted to do, that works, so I will. Yeah, I'm not going to read through this whole git add and git status. Let's see how many things we've changed. Characters, connections, entity, game, character resource. Alright. Git commit -m. And what will this be? Refactoring batch data RPC again. Git push. Can I push it to upstream? Maybe I will push it later. So I don't know. No one's going to work on this in the next 2 minutes, right? I mean, alright, so chatbox finally. Let's open up our, yeah, the HUD. I don't need the HUD. Don't need the item resource. Don't need the main menu. Character, let's get rid of this too. Characters, character resource. We don't need these either. When it's connections, game, that's fine. We also need the meeting UI, and from that the chat box. It's nice that like I increased the font size so it can be easily viewed on a small screen device, this stream, but these icons are still as small as they were. Alright, so what do we have here? Send messages. I guess what I can just do is just see if I call a meeting without reading any of the code. Just start chatting. Nice, so whatever I'm sending appears there. I like this is currently the, yeah, representation. Hitting enter also works. Oh, Yeah. Nice. Can I switch to... No, I cannot switch to Korean for some reason here. But that's not the game's fault. That's something I did not set up properly with my keyboard. Alright, so this is fine. Now what we need to do is send this message, which I guess we can send this through the connections dot send to server queue. And what do I need to send? Oh no, that's not what I'm gonna do. That's the variable. I need the function. What is the function I need here? Queue, something queue. Queue data to send. Yeah, that's going to be it. And what do I need? I need a... Well, what is it? It's a chat message from meeting. So meeting chat. Yeah, maybe we should just... maybe we should implement this with... The only reason I'm not going to do the enum right now is because I don't have a good idea where to define the enum. Where it's easy to access, and we will be able to do that later. And why I would really like if this debugger would tell me what the signature of the function is that I'm trying to call here. Processed text, and recipient is just -1 because sending it to everyone. Okay. And what we need is we need a display message. Oh, we have a display message. So we need this display message to be This display message will have to be called from the game whenever we receive a something player data or character data, set character data. That's figure out a better name for this and related functions. Thanks. Meeting chat, was it meeting chat? Yes. Probably because we don't have any direct connection with the chat box from here. So what we should do is emit signal. So we need a signal which we need to connect. Signal chat message received. So we need to receive this chat message. Okay, let me just copy. So emit signal requires this, And what do we need? We need the character data value, and we'll also need to have the sender ID. Oh, we already got that in the ID variable. Very nice. And now that we can emit this signal, we need this signal to be connected, and I think what better way to connect this than here. Well, this is a function. And I guess transition handler dot game scene dot connect what's it called? Chat message received, I guess. To connect it to what? Self. And we need a string for a method name here. Is this going to work? Display message. Is this going to work? I have no idea. Let's figure this one out. If I call a meeting and I send a chat message, will the game break? No, at least it does not break. We still don't know if it works or not. The function name was misspelled in the connect. Oh, that is... Thank you. That is the bane of my existence. Misspelling function and variable names and ending up with undefined behavior. And this is fine, because now we receive it back from the server. So let's just go back to the lobby. Not create, join. Oh no, we look the same. But this guy has an Elvis haircut. Alright. Now call a meeting. Oh no! We need to do something about... Yeah, I think the only thing we need to change here are two things. Well, that's not the only... So what is... and that is... I either don't... So which one would be the better solution? I ask the chat for opinion. Do I not display directly when I send the message? Or do I not display the message that I receive from myself? Which one I should remove? Should the chat box show my own message immediately, independent of whether it gets through the server or not? Or not? I mean, from code line, the perspective of code lines, if I remove one line, that I can remove this line, or I can add an additional line. Seeing it's instantly client-side would definitely feel better for the user. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. But going through the server first would be more consistent. Yeah, that was also true. And also, you will be able to see whether you have lag or not. So let me just comment this one out, because at least if you see your own message... Well, I guess what we could do like, I don't know, send your message and have it in a gray color, but then when it arrives through the server, You can change its color to white. Yeah, that's an option for beta version, not doesn't need it for the alpha. But maybe I'll just leave it to do here, so. Maybe make it, maybe first show the message gray and make it white once came back from server. I don't know, just leaving some ideas in the code that future me or future you will have to deal with. How nice is it is. Okay, what needs to be done here is we need to clear this chat box somehow. And that should be through meeting UI, I guess. Because we already have a function here which says focus and remove options. So what we should do is whenever it gets like a focused chat box, maybe I should remove. Can I rename these things in there? Yeah, this is VBox container, HBox container. That's not good names. Let me just rename this. Chat box something. Chat box. No, chat box. Box. Okay, that's even more stupid. Chat container. And then this one is input container. Okay. Chat container, text edit. Chat container, input container. Great. Why is it called text edit though? This is like more like chat history. Yeah, because I just used the text edit node and never renamed it. Text edit, yeah, that's... Just call it chat history, please. Okay, did I break it? I hope not. And we can have one function here which will clear messages. How do I clear the messages? Chat history.text equals start chatting. Yeah, I guess, or the default text. Yeah. And then what I need to do is I need this chat box to be referenced in the meeting UI. Yes. Chatbox, what is chatbox? Chatbox is margin container. Yeah, I wonder if we could remove this. I don't want to deal with that. Remove the margin container and just use this chatbox container, vslit container over there. What are we looking at here? We need mainbox slash chatbox, and this chatbox dot clear messages. Yes. All right. Let's roll. And let me just run 3 separate instances, and let's full screen it. Okay, let's start the game. Okay, let's call a meeting. And everyone seems to be able to receive the message. That's very good. Okay, so now let's everyone vote for something. And nothing happens, and when I press this button again, the chat screen is empty again. So how good is this? Very good. So that's what I call success, baby. We changed four files again. Why do I change so many files? Yeah, I guess let's see. Chat massages. I almost typed in chat massages. Chat messages are... What are they? Not distributed. Broadcast properly. There are a few things that we don't deal with here, which is ghosts sending messages, things like that. And do we want to do anything? So broadcasted. I don't think that the broadcast has like a regular past tense. I would think broadcast is just broadcast, broadcast, broadcast. I don't know. I'll let the native speakers decide on that topic. So in the meeting UI issue, we have a chat box now in this instance. Avatars of the chatters characters for both the vote and chat screens. So we don't have avatars for the chat screens. Okay, Darius, you googled it. Tell me, what are the 3 forms of broadcast? Or we can look it up on Wiktionary or something. But anyways, should I make a pull request already on this? Do I want to? Nice micro meeting, a recent pushes 1 minute ago. I know. Okay, let's what brought like in English, I think every verb has 3 forms. And dar week. Well, it has more, but like take me to Wiktionary. Yes, take me to Wiktionary. Oh no, this suddenly became bright. I'm so sorry. Come on, why is my internet so slow suddenly? Verb. Transitive, alright. Where is my conjugation? What? Is there no conjugation for this? Oh, maybe I just have to look up cast. Conjugation, here you are. Cast, cast, and where is the cast? Every imperative, subjunctive, cast. What is the third form? The have cast, been cast. You know, like is that not? That's not the subjunctive. That's not. Okay, I don't understand this. Anyway, you know, like how go, went, gone. Like the verb go has these three forms: go for past, went for, oh no, go for present, went for past, and gone for like the perfect tenses and also passive voice and stuff like that. It's been a very long time ago since I studied English grammar. So what I need to do is go to documentation and in the Godot documentation I need to look up what can we do with a, what is this? Text edit. Text edit, alright. Cast doesn't really have a past tense. Like saying he cast the line is fine. Alright, text edit meant for large multi-line text. It also has facilities for editing code such as syntax highlighting support and multiple levels of undo redo. Yeah, that's not really what we want, do we? So we need something else, a better. What else can we use for dealing with text? English is extremely consistent. But when it's broadcast, it does have a past tense, which is broadcasted. Really? Are you kidding me that broadcast is a different conjugation than cast? Oh my. That is confusing and infuriating at the same time. So rich text label. Label that displays rich text. What about rich text label? Rich text label can control custom text, fonts, images, and some basic formatting. Maybe this is what we actually want. The label manages these as an internal tag stack. It also adapts itself to given widths, heights. Assignments to BB code text clear the tag stack and reconstruct it from the properties content. Any edits made to BB code text will erase previous. Okay. So note, rich text label does not support entangled BB code text. Okay. Unlike label, rich text label doesn't have a property to horizontally align text to the center. Instead, enable BB code enabled and surround. Okay. This looks fine, I guess. GUI rich text BB code demo. Let's take a look at this. Oh, well, maybe let's not. So, rich text label. Scroll active. Okay, can I just simply change it to the rich text label? Meta underline. If true, the label underlines meta tags such as URL. Okay. Scroll active. Okay. How do I change the fonts here? Theme suspect. Oh, our font. Oh no, there is no. Okay. Go back. Theme overrides fonts. Okay, we need. In old OpenSuspect repo, I had some code to make BB code for messages if you want to look at that. Oh, yeah. That would make sense. Because this one will enable us. Where are my fonts? Well, not my fonts, our fonts. Assets. Fonts. Themes. It's in themes for some reason. Suspect font label .trs. Normal font. We need normal font here. Okay. Okay. We need a bold. We need at least a bold font. Can we copy this? How do I edit a font? Jeez. Font color. Okay. Alright, I don't really understand how this works. So I'm not going to do anything with this. Instead, let's go back here. No. Let me edit this. Alright. Bold font, bold italic. Okay, so I guess if I just put the same suspect font label, suspect font main, how different is this? Okay, this is much different. Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can sender name. So maybe we can. So I guess BB code means that this is going to be bold if I just do like this, right? This is how BB code works. I'm doing it, I'm just winging it and hope that I am right in my assumption that this is how BB code works. BB code color goes blue. B, yeah, right. Maybe what else we can do is we can change the color for our own messages. Maybe I don't want to deal with this right now. Maybe I just want to see if this works at all. Oh no, it doesn't work. Something's broken. Oh, because it's not a text edit anymore. What was it? Rich text label. Is it correct? Yeah, it's correct. Alright. The problem here is that languages that are actively used evolve and we can't update the dictionaries fast enough. Yeah, especially nowadays. Okay. Oh, it does not work. Why don't you work? Why don't the BB code work? Oh, because it's not enabled. Okay. Property is called BB code underscore text. Okay, that is different than just regular text. Where were you? Here. Oh, that's okay, that's fine. Because I guess in old times when people I don't know, maybe it was same in old times. Just we just did not care about changing the dictionaries. Alright, this seemingly works as I expected it to work. Wait, I can just close the meeting UI by pressing the escape button? Wait, that is illegal. I did not realize I can just close the meeting UI by pressing the escape button, and that should not be possible. Can I disable that somehow? Because that will cause a lot of problems. Mouse filter, stop. Default cursor, okay, input. Pass on. Modal mouse. It is the UI system that lets you press escape. Really? Did we do this, or is it part of this color rectangle? No, it's not part of color rectangles. That definitely does not. Yeah, this is the UI system that should not allow me to do that. In certain situations, of course. Okay. I know that's going to be another issue I'm going to be adding here. Because I don't feel like fixing it right now. So, pressing escape should not close the meeting UI. Okay, let me just figure out something else. So, does the escape button also hide the... what is this? No, it does not hide these things there, but it can turn... oh no, and it broke something. What the hell happened here? Why cannot I move anymore? Why can I not move anymore? Alright. Yeah, there's definitely something that's causing some problems. Yeah, I can even close... oh, sure, because even though I closed the window, the timer did not pass. So same here, if I decide to press the escape button, I am still in the meeting, so I cannot move anymore. I understand that now. So even though I closed the meeting window, the meeting is still going on, which is fine. Well, not fine. Meeting slash... what was the other thing that I just did? Role assignment UI. update in the UI system. Alright, I will assign this to myself too, but if anyone has an idea how to solve it quickly, not gonna complain about that. Okay, so this one is also preferably fixed for alpha, which is due by July 31. So last week I extended our goal by 1 month for reaching alpha. And well, what do we have left? We need to do some serious things. These ones are going to be easy, probably. Character model is what is missing from this? Oh, the vision range. We need the lobby map. We need to finish up the chat box. We need to fix up the other. I don't know. I tried to solve this. I couldn't. Yeah, and 2 bugs to be fixed. All right. And of course the task system, which is going to be difficult. But I propose that what did I change here? Yeah, I changed it to a rich text label, which is very nice, but which did not solve all my issues, which I wanted to solve. How do I insert pictures into the chat box? That's going to be the last thing we need to do to be able to say this meeting UI issue is solved. And move a little up on this little green line. How do I put an image in here? Insert image at resource path. And resized image. So do I have to give it an image? Oh no, I cannot just put an image in there. Hexadecimal color code, URL tractrix, image, vertical offset. How to use a custom, create a bitmap font resource. Set this bitmap font with a positive value for accent property, that's your height offset. Huh. Yeah, that's very complicated. So what I need to do is Godot rich text label image. Maybe an hbox with a node that contains a skeleton and a label. How to modify the image rich text table using code. How to add a picture to the text. Yeah, that's like in the vote side of things. This is how it's solved. But we basically, what do we have here is a character vote. So we have this character vote.tscn, which contains the vote button, a skeleton, and the character name. And just have one hbox per message. Yeah, that would complicate things a lot. So maybe we can put this off, put the avatars in the chat box up to the beta version and just roll with this for the alpha. I think everything is clear. Can I add an icon label or a rich text or what? Add image would do the job, just remember that it requires a texture and not a picture. Does this need to be written in a rich text label script? Either that or you reference another rich text table object like that. As many other coding languages in Godot, all the functions are linked to an object. You can refer to any node. Okay. Okay. Add image. Is there an add image function here somewhere? Oh, but there was a problem with the rich text labels BB something. Note, assignments to BB code text clear the text stack and reconstruct it from the properties contents. Any edits made to BB code text will erase previous edits made from other manual sources, such as append BB code and the push pop methods. Well, what the hell does that even... I mean, I guess I understand what it means, but then where is the function for... It says there is... So this thing here says there is add image. Yeah, this is the same thing as this one, right? My programming brain wants to contribute, but I don't know if I will have the time, and I don't want to make promises in vain. Yeah, Darius, I understand that. I generally have like... What? Add image, here you are. Damn it. Add an image's opening and closing text to the text stack, optionally providing width and height to resize the image. If width or height is set to 0, the image size will be adjusted in order... Okay. So maybe instead of parses BB code net tags to the text tag as needed, returns the result of the parsing. So I'm thinking, how the hell do I not screw up the BB code stack, whatever that means. Custom BB code tags and text effects. You can extend the rich text effect resource. I don't care about that. So for BB code tags to work, you must set up custom fonts for the rich text label node first. That's fine. There are no BB code tags to control vertical handling of text. That's also fine. So for uniformly formatted text, you can write in a text property, but if you want to use BB code markup, you should use the text property in the BB code section instead. Before this happens, you need to toggle enabled. Okay. I guess we can always just try. But also, how do I get the... So is there a way... Okay, this is a serious question for those in the chat who know GDScript better than me, which is, I guess, not that difficult. But thing is, I have this character vote, and this has this skeleton, which will sometime... Yeah, when it's ready, it will set its appearance. So what my question is, how could I make a texture somehow from this skeleton? So could I basically get a screenshot of whatever is constructed here over the skeleton? That is the great question. Create a texture, maybe that's what I should search for here. Godot. You do some weird stuff with viewports. Oh. Viewport texture, is this going to be that? Using a viewport as a texture. Okay. This tutorial will introduce a viewport as a texture that can be... This tutorial assumes you are familiar how to set up a scene. Yeah, okay. Setting up... Add the viewport to the scene. Next, set the size of the viewport. The viewport can actually be any size so long as the width is double the height. Why? The width needs to be double the height so the image will accurately map onto this. Oh, okay, so that's just for this, I think. Now we have the basics of viewport, applying it and render to, and we have a unique image that we can apply to the sphere. Oh, this is too late for this. It's too late for this. I will have to commit whatever I have. I'm getting sleepy. Yeah, so basically we added BB codes and that's it. And I will say that text is now, or what, not text, but chat history contains formatting. And let me just push it to the main repository too. And if anyone feels like working on this and adding the images, then please do so. Because for me, the day is over. I am going to bed. Just let's take a look at the Git graph for one last time. So we have meeting, upstream meeting, origin meeting. Great. Everything is up to date there. Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to make a PR from this right now because it's not fully implemented. If we find it too difficult, we can always move the goalposts and say that we actually don't need the avatars to be appearing in the chat box for the alpha. We can move that to the beta. Let's discuss that later in the element chat. And yeah, thanks for coming and see you next time, I guess.